How's it going, guys? So today we're going to be doing another video, and we're going to be doing an install actually for the car, and this is pretty much a very important mod that you should get for your car if you have a direct injection car or if you have a performance car. And I feel this is something that's kind of looked over, and I kind of looked over it myself until I realized the importance of it, especially if you want the longevity of your motor. So here we go. So we're gonna be doing a little bit of an unboxing, and here's the brand Evil Energy. And today, or actually tomorrow, because it's nighttime right now, so I'm gonna do the unboxing tonight and then probably do the install early in the morning. So we have Evil Energy catch can, and I did get the somewhat more inexpensive version. This cost me probably about $37 total, and it's an oil catch can. And I never knew how important or the purpose of one, and learning about from my other car how I used to always have issues with it, and there was a lot of oil problems. This definitely is going to save my life with this car, because I recently cleaned out the throttle body and a piece of the other parts of the idle air control, and I noticed all the stuff that was in there. Alright, so here is the oil catch, and then here's the system that pretty much makes it work. Oil goes in through here, or any of the particulates that come in whenever there's pressure going through here, and they get caught in this thing as well, the baffle. And you have your oil dipstick as well to check to see if it needs to be emptied. So this is very helpful, so you don't have to actually take the catch can off each time. And then once everything goes down into here, it goes into the outside and goes out to the valve cover to keep it from getting inside the valve cover or back inside the throttle body or intake. And we also have the necessary hardware. So you have your spouts right here, and your cable ties, as well as extra O-rings just for added security for leaks. And then you have your mounting plate, and you also have the stuff that goes in the bottom that it actually goes in here, I'm pretty sure. We'll look at the instructions just to make sure, and it catches all the larger particles that you don't want to actually get into your engine. So here we also have a sticker and necessary instructions. So we're going to go through, and I'm going to actually show you guys which part you're supposed to install it on. Alright, so I may have misspoke in the last clip, but you have your inside. So this side goes from the valve cover into the catch can. All the particulates go down here, and it goes out, and the out part goes into the intake manifold. So it goes in line between the PCV for the intake manifold to valve cover. And that's pretty much how simple it is for what the purpose of it is. The install, unfortunately, is not that simple, but it's not complicated either. So with all these bits and pieces they gave with us, I'm going to actually get this piece together to what it's going to actually be needed. And one thing that's not included, but I do have, is thread sealant tape for the fittings that you have right here. So that is going to be something that you do need for putting them into here, and that will just stop any leaks from happening. So we're going to go ahead and get that set up, and then I'm going to get back with you guys. Alright, so here's pretty much the mock-up of everything that is included and that needs to be attached. If you have to use these fittings, then you should, but thread sealant tape goes on these threads, and then you thread it into the catch can just just so you don't have any leaks. And then you have the mounting arm right here, and it's pretty much, this is how it's going to look, but it's going to be a lot different once I have to attach it to the actual car, because I'm most likely going to have to drill and mount it some type of way, and I might have to have some other thing or other screws or something used to mount it right here. It all depends on where I mount it in the car, but typically since it's going in between the intake manifold and the valve cover, I want to have it somewhere generally close, because as you can see, this isn't that much line to use for it, but we're going to try to use all of it and hopefully not have to get any more. So we're going to have to figure that out tomorrow once we do the actual install. So that's it for right now, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Alright, so it's the next day, or 2 days later actually, because I didn't have enough time yesterday, but I just watched a few videos for my vehicle specifically on where the PCV, and unluckily for me, it is actually under the intake manifold, and it's between the crankcase and the intake. So I originally thought this might have been enough, but I'm going to actually go to the store to get more, and we're gonna get back and I'm gonna show you guys exactly where the PCV breather hose is. Alright, so we are outside, and down in there, it's kind of hard to see. I might have to focus myself. But pretty much down right in there is where the PCV hose is. And that's pretty much the best angle I can show you from. So we're gonna have to disconnect that, and I'm thinking the catch can will probably mount somewhere in this area, but it might be hard to route the cables through, so we're gonna have to kind of find out as we go. But probably all of this stuff is gonna have to come off. This is gonna have to come off as well, and that way we have better access. There was a lot of other stuff that the guy removed when he was doing a replacement, but I don't think I want to do all that, mainly because that's just a lot of stuff to have to remove and remember to put back. So I'll let you guys know like what I do as I go. Alright, so I got the intake off, and here is the breather PCV hose, and it was extremely hard to get into, and I'll try to see if I can zoom in on it. So that little purple hole fitting right there goes to the crankcase, and right here at the bottom, you probably won't be able to see it, is where the other part goes to the intake. So I got both of them off. It's kind of down there, that little fitting right there. So I got the hose off, and it's ready for the oil catch can to be hooked up. Pretty much I will do a little bit of cleaning up in here just to make sure everything goes back and is pretty much almost brand new. So we're gonna work on that and then work on getting it put back together. So there was a slight error in my judgment from just looking at the fittings and all the hoses. So I have the hoses here, and they fit perfectly onto this fitting. However, this is not the fitting that I need, because as you saw earlier down there, that fitting is a lot bigger and it just won't work. So the kit came with two different sizes. If I have them here, it came with different size fittings so you can have that universality. So I'm actually gonna have to use the bigger ones. Here they are. So I'm gonna have to use these to the oil catch can, because these pretty much match those, and that way I can just use bigger hoses instead of having to run adapters or whatever. It'll just be a lot cleaner for that. So I'm gonna have to get these all sealed up with the tape and take those out and replace them, and then eventually I'm going to have to I'm gonna get a ride to the store, because I don't feel like putting everything back together to get the hoses and then having to take it all apart and refit it, so I'm just gonna get a ride to O'Reilly's, get the hoses that I need, and start from there. Alright, so I skipped ahead a little bit and got everything back together. I decided to install the catch cam right there because it seemed like the best location, and all the hoses are routed under there. It really sucks, but I will have to get some clamps for these because they're kind of kind of loose, and I don't like that. And the clamps that were supplied in the kit aren't meant for the larger fittings, so that is going to have to be something that I go to the store and get real quick. But the problem was I had to kind of rush because I had to go to work, so it's pretty much time to start it up and see if we have any leaks or anything we shouldn't, because there wasn't really anything that we're messing with that contained fluid. So I'm going to let the car off the jacks and I'm going to start it up. Alright, so I have the car started and everything looks good. You can actually hear the hose from right here, so definitely going to go to the store real quick and get the clamps. And it's kind of being pinched a little bit, so I definitely cut it a little too short, so I might end up having to either relocate the whole catch can and shift it over so it won't be as bad as a kink, and then it'll be good from there. But that's pretty much it. So I'll probably update you guys whenever I get the new clamps on and if it's relocated. Alright, so it's been a few weeks later that I filmed the last part that you saw, but I ended up pretty much keeping it in that location that you guys saw. But the only thing I did change were the hoses. I ended up getting the fuel line hoses because the heater hoses are not good, because whenever it's under like vacuum, the hoses clamp down and it kind of almost like chokes off the airflow, which is not good. And sorry if I sound a little bad because I'm sick right now, but I ended up changing those. But it's pretty much the same location, but I decided to give an update, and that's pretty much it. This is going to be the outro, so you guys enjoy the video. Please leave a like, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch you guys later.